'cause progress, we're all a little off brand at this. It's neon lights and caffeine dreams, chasing balance through the in-between. If life's on sale, then don't forget, you're the best deal you can get. Make it worth your wellness, every breath you take. Turn your burnout into a big remake. Make it worth your wellness, don't fade away. You're healing on clearance, and that's okay. Scroll past the filter, skip the noise, find your calm and stay poised. You're not late, you're right on cue. Every fit skill looks good on you. So light it up, get glow through the doubt. Even discount dreams can still work out. We rise, rewind, and do it again. Off-brand hearts still find their zen. Make it worth your wellness, take your time. Even chaos can fall in line. Make it worth your wellness, make it yours. We're all just healing in synth-wave chords.
Ever noticed how you're not always hungry, but you're still eating? And how certain food shows up right when you're feeling emotional? Welcome back to Bargain Brand Wellness. Tonight, we're unpacking the quiet ways food becomes emotional regulation, memory, comfort, control, and distraction. Not to shame habits, but to help us understand them. So grab whatever snack feels emotionally appropriate and settle in. Welcome to Wellness. Welcome back, my wellness warriors, my self-care connoisseurs, my off-brand VIPs. We got another fun show for you tonight. Super excited to have you on. Glad to be here on this Thursday episode. A rare Thursday. We don't typically do Thursdays, do we? No. We were in Southern Oakland, Southern Garrett County last night for a basketball game. Went pretty well. But yeah, so no stream last night, but we are live here. Bargain Brand Wellness is officially partnered with Dude Wipes for all your fresh and clean needs. Get yourself some Dude Wipes for right after you do the doo-doo. If you like what you're seeing, or if you're new here, click the links in the description. You can head on over to Patreon and become a wellness warrior. We actually have a free membership over there. It doesn't cost a thing to join. You can head on over there, hang out with us, and become a wellness warrior. By becoming a wellness warrior, get your name thrown in the wellness jar, where we do drawings every month for a free merch giveaway. We have our Make It Worth Your Wellness flagship t-shirt back here you can win. And if you've already won that, you actually could win a free hat, our Bargain Brand Wellness hat, or one of our limited edition t-shirts that we have come out every 3 months. Our current shirt is our self-care on clearance t-shirt. Mine should be here any day, to be honest, so I can have one on display for y'all. Super excited about that. So yeah, now you actually can earn additional Wellness Warrior of the Day badges just by hanging out here on stream with us. Hanging out, having a good old time. You do that and you can win additional badges, which also get your name thrown into the wellness jar. So stick around. If you like what you're seeing, you can find us here live, typically 3 days a week on YouTube at Bargain Brand Wellness or on TikTok at Off Brand Tim. We love what we're doing here. If you like what you're seeing, click that like, share, subscribe, or follow button. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers. And once again, tell the person you don't even like. No bad karma. Just send them on over our way. We'll hang out with them. We'll get them to a point where you actually can stand being around that person. I think there's a relationship there in your future. All music made here is on Bargain Brand Wellness is available on all major streaming platforms. Anything from YouTube Music to Spotify to Apple Music, whatever you listen to music on, there's a good chance you can find Bargain Brand Wellness music on there from Off Brand Records via Singify Sessions. That's the name of our monthly albums that we put out. And our last little announcement before we get into today's show. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, and we're always looking for more and more guests, you can find the links in the description. We do have a pseudo application, which is really more or less just a way for you to give me your contact information so I can reach out to you, and we can get you set up for a date and time to jump on the show and talking about anything and everything wellness. I only ask for about 30-45 minutes of your time. Hang out with us, and I'll tell you, once we get into some good conversations, it goes by really, really quickly. So yeah, how you doing over there on YouTube, Mom? I see you. Having a good old day. Not too bad today. I went for a little walk. A little update before we get into it. I'm what is this, day 5? Or I'm in somewhere into day 5 of my little fasting challenge that I'm doing throughout the month, which once again isn't much different than what I've done in the past, just changing up a few things. I'm skipping dinner every day for the next 30 days, and yeah, it's not going too bad. I mean, I try to eat as healthy as I can, breakfast and lunches, no carbs, no grains, no seed oils, no inflammatory foods, anything like that, just strictly protein, vegetables. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm even kind of trying to stay away from fruit, if at all possible. Maybe a banana here and there, but for the most part, yeah, just protein and vegetables over the next 30 days to see if that does. I'm incorporating some walks morning and evening into my routine, and yeah, just trying to get the best quality sleep I can. So, like I said, I guess we're kind of into day 5. I'm feeling pretty good, and we're gonna keep pushing forward. We'll keep you updated on this journey. All right, let's head on over to the Wheel of Wellness. We're going to get some spins going. I will let you know there's going to be some updates coming to how we build this show. A lot of the segments we do on here, we really enjoy. They're a lot of fun. I think at times they might feel a little redundant. So I think the Wheel of Wellness is going to have another little evolution to where it's mostly games on there, because that part we can keep random, and then our segments are going to be stream specific, right? So something like our That's Debatable, right? I love That's Debatable. It's one of my funnest things to do with Nova, and I think it's enjoyable content, and I think it always has a place. But I have other segments I wouldn't mind bringing in, and I don't want us getting into the 2.5 to 3 hour mark, because we're just not there. So I'm going to be kind of building those into different shows. So some of the small segments you see on a Monday episode, you might not necessarily see on a Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday episode. It'll just kind of stream specific, right? So some of the things we're going to be kind of changing up there. I'm working on it. In fact, today is kind of the start of a new topic, which I've done in previous shows. Today in science, we're going to talk a little bit about the science, especially as it relates to your food habits. That's going to be the primary kind of course of today's show. But yeah, so as we've said before, Bargain Brand Wellness is just always evolving. We're over here. We're still having a good time, but we're doing whatever we can to see if we can try to slowly somehow start to really get more people in here. I appreciate my wellness warriors that are in here every stream, or even if they can't make it in every stream, they're in here once a week, or, a couple times a month. Any support, I've said from the get-go, I appreciate. But if we want this thing to grow, we gotta keep evolving. So yeah. So that's what you can look for in future episodes, maybe as soon as Saturday's episode. All right. All right. That's enough of me talking. Let's get into the good stuff. And here's another example. We're going to start ourselves off with a wellness rap battle. The rap battles are a lot of fun, but we may not always do that every stream, right? It may just have to adjust. It might be something we do once a week. You know, even though I enjoy it, it's just, I just want to keep evolving. So, all right, let me bring Nova in real quick. See if she's awake from her nap. All right, Nova, we're back for another segment of our wellness rap battle. Today's topic, we're talking about the psychology of your food habits. So staying on theme, I'll start us off and we'll kick it off. You ready?
Oh, you know I'm ready. Let's drop some knowledge in a beat. You start it off and I'll back you up with some rhymes that'll hit harder than a late night snack.
All right, Nova, this is round one. Shoulders tense, jaw clenched, stress is tight. Not mad at the chips, just mad at my life. Midnight fridge calls out like a long lost friend. Bored, not hungry, yet we're still snacking again.
Oh, I feel that vibe. Now let me grab the mic. Spicy food thrill, chasing heat like a chase scene. Warm soup hug when life ain't as serene. Finish your plate? Oh, that's a childhood echo. But tonight, we're breaking habits, not just the gecko.
Okay, you kind of stole some of my lyrics there, Nova, but we'll make it work. Spicy food thrill, chasing something intense. Warm soup hug when emotions got us in suspense. Finish your plate like the rules still apply. Scarcity whispering, if you don't eat your food, you'll die.
Oh, you're doubling down, Tim. I'm feeling that heat. Distracted scrolling, chewing on autopilot. Memory gone, did I even try it? Sugar rush calls when emotions run low, but tonight we're flipping the script, just so you know.
All right, last round. Scrolling and chewing, where has the time gone? Hungry again before my soap operas are done. Probably not FDA approved, but here's the truth. Your plate's got feelings just like you do.
You brought it home strong. Let's seal this deal. Snacking on feelings, yeah, we know that's true. But tonight we cracked the code, gave your plate its due. Healing isn't sold separately. That's our refrain. So next time you snack, you'll know the real game.
All right. Thanks, Nova. We'll talk to you again here in a little bit. You know, I say all the time, it is one of my favorite segments, but we can change it. We don't have to do a rap battle every show, unless we get a request from our wellness warriors. All right. Let's get another spin. All right, starting to sell another Wellness Warrior reset, little mindfulness moments where we'll kind of, relax, do our thing, and have a good time. So sit back, relax your jaws, relax your shoulders, close your eyes or soften your gaze, and take a listen. Let's pause the pressure to eat better for a moment. Food habits aren't random. They're responsive. Crunchy foods often show up when tension has nowhere else to go. Warm food arrives when comfort feels scarce. Late night snacks sneak in when the day finally stops asking things of you. If you grew up finishing every plate, your body may still be listening for old rules. If you eat distracted, it's not a failure. It's your mind trying to multitask survival. Right now, just notice. Not correct. Notice when salt feels grounding, when sugar feels like emotional first aid, when repeating the same meal feels like control in a loud world. You don't need to change anything tonight. Just loosen the story that food choices mean something bad about you. Remember, personal growth shouldn't require subscription, and awareness is already a form of nourishment. And that is your Wellness Warrior Reset. Heck yeah. All right, let's get one more spin and then we'll jump. We'll kind of get into today's theme about what your food choices say about you. Let's say, do we got a game? Or yeah, there we go. We're gonna start off with some word salad. For our weekly challenge, all we have left is our Wordle and Rubik's Mania. We probably would have beat Rubik's Mania on Monday if I didn't keep talking and mess myself up a little bit. But that's all right. We're over here having fun. Let's hop into one of our games we like to play called Word Salad. It's a fun little game. It doesn't take us too long. They have small wheels is the category. Okay. They have small wheels. We have 5 words, 2 7-letter words, an 8-letter word, 2 with 3 letters. Toy car. I saw a car, but I was like, toy what? Toy car. Okay. What else has small wheels? Scooter. I wasn't even really thinking that. Okay, hold on. Went the wrong way. Scooter. Nope. There we go. There we go. There's a scooter. Yeah, what? This is kind of a weird category. Scooter, toy car. What about skates? But I don't see a K. I see a chasm. Does a chasm have wheels? I don't think so. A mouse. Mouse has small wheels. Wait, oh, I was joking. I guess it's the one with the scroll wheels. I was joking when I hit that. That's funny. Hey, no, it wasn't. I saw that. I knew it. I'm just that good. I mean, I wasn't even thinking like a mouse. What else has small wheels? The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. All right, we got 2 words left. We got a 7-letter word and an 8-letter word. So we have a little bit of a hint here because the 8-letter word is between SC and TO. So it either begins with an S or a T. So we have a hint. But it's 8 letters. I don't think it starts with a T. Well, I guess it could be T-I because I don't see a word that's T-I, T-I-U, or T. No, it would have to be T-I. I don't know. Could be T-E, Tema, Tear, Tess. I feel like it's going to be more like an S word. S-E. It won't be S-A. It really would have to be S-E. Or it could be S-T. Stem. This is hard because it's the longer one too. Has small wheels. What else has small wheels? Why? Like a car doesn't have small wheels. It's not truck, tank. It's not like a vehicle. It's not a bike. Bike has big wheels. I guess when they mean small wheels, they mean tiny, like a scooter. What else has a wheel on it? I was thinking like a gear, but no, that's not a wheel. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I'm yawning. Strem. I mean, I'm just kind of just looking. I'm not really seeing anything. Like I said, it either begins with a T, tress, or an S. Suit. Could there be something with suit? Suitcase. There it is. There it is. I was hard. And then a hamster wheel. I just needed to see it. And then, yeah. All right, we got that one in 4 minutes 19. That wasn't bad for how hard that was a difficult one. That was a tough one. All right. Let's head on over here. All right. So today in science, we're going to kind of get this started off. We'll get into kind of our first part of this, and then we'll go from there. Let me hold on. I got to record one little part real quick. We'll probably be taking this part out just because it kind of throws off the flow, if you will. This topic comes up in therapy, classrooms, and everyday conversations. I've seen how food habits show up when people are stressed, tired, and just trying to get through the day. Between my work in behavior-focused environments and my studies in psychology, I've noticed something consistent. People rarely eat just because they're hungry. Now, this episode isn't about fixing your diet. It's about noticing patterns. Remember, personal growth doesn't require a subscription, and self-care on clearance still counts. All right, now we can hop over the other part. Today in science, researchers recently found that specific neurons in the brain actually store memories for certain foods, especially sugar and fat, and those memories can drive cravings later on. Basically, your brain keeps a highlight reel of food that once made life feel easier, which might explain why stress doesn't send people running for steamed broccoli. It also helps explain why craving can show up even when you're not hungry. Your brain remembers relief, not calories. So if you've ever wondered why certain foods feel emotional, turns out your brain never forget who showed up for you. I'd say that's very true in a lot of cases. So a couple things to kind of keep in mind here. Craving crunchy foods often signals suppressed anger or tension. Crunching releases stress. Apparently, who knew? And lastly, people who snack constantly are often responding to mental fatigue, not physical hunger. Your brain is tired and your mouth volunteered. All right. So yeah, so I was doing I found this video which talked about some of the science and some of the psychology behind the way we eat food. And it definitely was interesting. Part of DBT is food and your mood. It talks about how different foods kind of affect how you respond and how you're feeling in different situations. And I think a lot of us can really attest to that, because you ever notice how you're eating those feels that just hit that comfort spot, and you feel fine right afterwards. You feel fine. But then moments later, or even maybe an hour later, you just feel awful, especially if that's been part of your normal diet. Yeah, if that's been part of your normal diet. But then a lot of us probably knows, have you ever fasted before? And when I say fast, I'm talking you're getting to like the 18 to 24 hour fast or longer. After a while, you actually experience a sense of clarity. So it's really interesting to see how food does kind of affect who you are on the inside. It's really quite interesting. So yeah, we'll dive into this a little bit more here in a little bit. Good. Yeah, I did get a notice that OBS disconnected temporarily. Are we back, Mom? It looks like everything looks good on my end, but I just want to make sure. I really need to do some upgrades to this computer, but I need to see how much it's going to cost. We're back. Okay, cool. Because I don't want to be out of commission for long. Like, it's something, if I have to put this computer out of commission for a day or two, that's fine. I don't even mind skipping a couple episodes if we have to, but I also use this computer to do my schoolwork. So, I mean, I'll be taking the summer off for school again. So, I mean, we could do it over the summer if we had to, but I need to see how much it's going to cost to upgrade this. Cause I think a lot of the stuff going on with it is trying to run OBS and TikTok. TikTok takes a lot. OBS, TikTok, and then stream on YouTube all at the same time is really putting a load on it. There's computers can handle that. I just need an upgraded, I guess this is the GPU, I think. Or CPU, I don't know. Danny knows more computer stuff than I do. But yeah. So no, this is really interesting, you know, and I know for me, I have, you know, just like everyone else, I have a different type of relationship with food. I'm not really a junk food person. I do get a little sweet tooth. Ice cream is one of my vices. I love ice cream. I've never met an ice cream I didn't like. But I don't overdo it. I can go a month or months without eating ice cream. Right? This is the time I don't really want ice cream. Now during the summer I want it, but I can hold off to once a week because I think of it as a treat. I want to look forward to. I don't want it all the time. But then there's other things, you know, since I quit drinking, you know, soda has been a big, I love soda. And that's another thing I gave up during this month is no soda, no artificial sweeteners, even the zero sugar stuff. It hasn't been too bad, you know, on day 5, but it also hasn't been easy. I like soda and, you know, we say this before, I'll drink water, but after a while at 7:26 at night, I'm tired of drinking water all day. I need something with some flavor, and unfortunately, just don't get that. All right, let's go ahead and get another spin on the wheel of wellness and see what we're gonna get into next. As I said, I'm gonna take a drink of water. All right, we're gonna do That's Debatable. Bing, 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 bing. Bring Nova back in. All right, Nova, we're back for another segment of That's Debatable. Today's topic is, should we listen to our cravings or should we just resist them? I'm prepared to take either side of this argument. You let me know which side you'd rather take.
All right, let's dive right into it. If you're feeling bold, I'll tackle the listen to your cravings side. But if you want to play the cravings nemesis, I'll argue for resisting them. Either way, let's make it spicy. Which side are you leaning towards?
All right, well, I can do the resist side. I'm fine with that one. So I'll go ahead and get us started. So I think sometimes it might be best to just simply resist the urge. If nothing else, when you get past that urge, it can kind of feel like you're becoming more disciplined, and it can actually kind of motivate you to push a little bit further and allow you to kind of focus more on your health goals, right? You know, I was just sitting here talking about how I'm doing this little dieting trend, this little fasting trend during the next 30 days. And I really want a soda, even if it's zero sugar, but I'm resisting the urge, right? I'll be honest, I'm not listening to that craving because the more I think about it, the more I'm going to want it.
I hear that, but here's the twist. Cravings are like little messengers. When you listen, not obey, just listen, you might figure out what your body or mind actually needs. Maybe that craving for a soda is really your brain saying, hey, I need a break. I need a little reward. If you decode that, you might find a healthier way to meet the need. No soda required, but no self-battle either. It's like personal growth, but with snacks.
I agree that it probably is my view of trying to get a little bit of reward for doing such a good job, but it's an unhealthy reward. It's better to resist that urge than to try to focus too much on it, because I don't think it's going to work a lot of the times. And what it can then do is help with short-term behavior change. For example, that's why I'm doing this whole fasting challenge. It's really not that much different than anything else I already do. I'm trying to shift my mind, even at the subconscious level, to get back into doing the things that I was once doing before. And listening to my cravings is only going to make me focus on them harder, especially someone with ADHD. Sometimes it's easier just to resist and put my mind on something else.
Totally valid. Resistance can be a tool, especially if it's intentional. But if you're always white-knuckling through cravings, you risk missing out on why they show up. Plus, when you understand them, you can swap out the unhealthy reward for something equally satisfying but aligned with your goals. It's not just about listening or resisting. It's about negotiating with your own brain. And hey, at least ADHD brings some creative snack ideas to the table.
All right, no, but thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you again here in a little bit. All right, let's get another spin on the wheel wellness. See what we're hopping on into next. Bum, bum, bum. All right, there we go. Now we're going to play our first game. We're going to play a little game of Q-less. We're going to head on over to the overhead cam. We're not going to do a timer with this one, just because we already beat our challenge. But Q-less is our new solitaire / crossword game. Not every roll is solvable, but most are. So we're going to get a roll and see what we can get. This is really a fun game. It's available on the TikTok shop. So feel free to head on over and get yourself a copy of it. All right, I like our letters today. I really like our letters. We got 2 L's, 2 T's. We got an S and R. We got 2 B's. All right, we might have a little too many doubles, but I think we can make it work. I think we can make it work. We only got 2 vowels, but I like our letters here. I think we can make this work. I mean, I see range, but I don't know if I want to throw both of my vowels right here. We could do battle. I do like that. The same thing. It would throw both, but it doesn't. Uses up connecting. But I think it's because it's overloading because of TikTok. My mic was acting up earlier for some reason. I don't know why. So we're not gonna be able to wait until summer to get that fixed. Slur, sleb. Might not be able to do the double T there like that. I don't mind the E being here. I don't really see anything else I could throw on the end here. I mean, because we could do rang, we could do bang, we could do sang here. But I don't really have, with the letters that are available, anything here. I could do belt. But that's going to break up battle. Or even rattle. Unless there's a word here I'm just not seeing. Slurb. Slurb a word. S-L-E-R-B. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to break. I like battle, but I think we're gonna have to break that up. Let's get that out of there, because if not, that's all I'll see, and I won't be able to think of another word. I sometimes like to. Ooh, if we had O, we could do slobber. I sometimes like to put double letters together, especially when we have 2 B's, 2 T's, and 2 L's. But I don't really. We got tell. We got tall. I don't know if I really like that though. I like the 5-letter one. We definitely got a word. I'm just not seeing it here. This isn't even that bad of one. If we had another vowel, it'd be a little bit easier. I don't know. Let me go with belt. Something's shouting belt at me. I hate when I accidentally knock him over. Yeah, I'm feeling belt for some reason. And then let's see what we can do with that. Still like that NG together, but we don't. I mean, we can change up if we have to. I mean, what if we did something like legs? These are a lot of short ones, though. I don't really like that. And then, ooh, I see breast, but that puts the E and A right next together. That's going to lock both those vowels. We won't be able to do anything. I mean, what if can we do something here? Yeah, there we go. I wasn't even thinking about that. All right, there we go. Belt, legs, brat, and ant. Got it. Not bad. Not bad at all, if I say so myself. I think there was probably a lot of different things we could do there. That was that one was just a little bit more difficult. So that's Q-less. Go check it out. It's a fun game. I think with shipping and handling it was like $20, but listen, it's 2026. Everything's expensive nowadays. It's a fun game. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. Play by yourself or play with other people. At least that's my opinion. And I think it's valid. All right, let's get another let's get one another spin, and then we'll head back over to the what we're talking about here. Yeah, it's just got to be because of it's dropping too many frames. And I already had it fixed, but something happened on TikTok and it definitely acted up. Oh well. We'll make it work one way or another. All right, let's bring Nova back in here. All right, Nova, we're back for another segment of Daily Devotional. I'm going to read a passage out of my devotional here, and I'd like you to help us apply it to today's message and interpret the meaning for us. So for February 5th, seek my face, and you will find not only my presence, but also my peace. To receive my peace, you must change your grasping, controlling stance to one of openness and trust. The only thing you can grasp without damaging your soul is my hand. Ask my spirit within you to order your day and control your thoughts. For the mind controlled by the spirit is life and peace. You can have as much of me and my peace as you want, through thousands of correct choices each day. The most persistent choice you face is whether to trust me or to worry. You will never run out of things to worry about, but you can choose to trust me no matter what. I am an ever-present help in trouble. Trust me, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea.
All right, let's break that down. Today's message is all about letting go of that urge to control everything, which honestly ties right into those food habits we talked about. Think about it. When we stress crunch or impulse snack, we're trying to grasp control. This passage is nudging us to swap half for trust, whether that's trusting yourself or in something bigger. So next time you're staring into the fridge late at night, maybe ask, am I trying to control the feeling, or can I trust myself to sit with it? It turns out peace might be less about the snack and more about what we choose to feed our thoughts.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And I don't know that I've ever quite had that relationship with food, and I know a lot of people do. And I think if I were, and being completely honest and quite honestly a little vulnerable, I think that was kind of where some of my relationship with alcohol might have been.
Thanks for sharing that, and honestly, it's relatable. Whether it's food, alcohol, or something else, we all have ways we try to cope or manage what we're feeling. The good news is you're already reflecting on it, and that's half the battle. We're all in that human boat together, learning healthier ways to handle the waves.
Yeah. And now that I think about it, sitting here talking about food on the month where I'm skipping dinner, it probably wasn't the best idea, because the more I talk about food, the more I see food, the hungrier I feel.
Ha. Yeah, discussing snacks when you're skipping dinner is like being a kid in a candy store, except you're just outside staring through a window. But hey, you've got the self-awareness and maybe a solid post-stream snack plan.
All right, thanks, Nova. No post-stream snack, unfortunately. Actually, let's do one more spin, and then we'll head over to the next group of psychology facts about food. I was hoping we did another game. All right, off-brand affirmations. Off-brand affirmations coming to you from Bargain Brown Wellness. Off-brand affirmation number 1. I'm allowed to eat for comfort sometimes. Healing isn't sold separately. My cravings are information, not a moral failure. Free laughs with no copay. I don't need to finish my plate to prove anything. Self-care is still on clearance. I can eat slowly even when life feels rushed. Remember to hydrate, meditate, and speculate. And lastly, I don't have to earn my food by suffering first, although it might not be probably and definitely not FDA approved. And that's our off-brand affirmations for the day. All right, let's get to the next part of Today in Science. Emotional eaters often crave warm foods because warmth is associated with comfort and safety. Basically, it's not soup, it's an edible hug. Sweet cravings increase during emotional lows because sugar boosts serotonin temporarily. It's not dessert, it's a short-term emotional loan with interest. Comfort foods are usually tied to childhood memories, not taste alone. Basically, you're not eating mac and cheese, you're time traveling into the past. And our last fact of this part, late night snacking is linked to loneliness and boredom more than hunger. The fridge isn't calling, you're just looking for company. Yeah, the emotional eating thing is an interesting one because I've never really experienced that. If I've ever been emotional, I usually am not hungry. My stomach hurts. I get tired. Honestly, I'm more of a sleeper if I get emotional. Yeah, never experienced that, but everyone has a different relationship with different things. Once again, some's food, some's alcohol, some people their craving is working out. Almost to a fault. Once again, everything in moderation. You can actually work out too much. All right, so before we jump back in the wheel wellness, there's just a short little video we're gonna watch that's just kind of understanding the psychology of cravings. Let's check this out.
The intention of eating just one, this has happened to all of us, and then moments later you realized, my gosh, the whole bag is gone. Listen up, because we have the solution. It's called mindful eating, and in just a few simple steps, you can actually control the cravings and then enjoy the food you eat. So here to break it down for us is psychologist and New York Times best-selling author of Eating Mindfully, Dr. Susan Albers. Welcome and thank you for being here. This is literally your wheelhouse, connecting the dots between body and mind. Go through the science behind cravings, because there is a lot of science behind it.
Cravings come from three places. First, they are often distraction from emotions. 75% of what we eat has nothing to do with our hunger. We eat because we are bored, we are stressed, we are anxious.
Mine's usually boredom.
Second is desire. Tasty food releases dopamine and gives us that burst of pleasure. So of course we want more.
That's me with the chocolate chip cookie.
And then finally, denial. When we deny ourselves anything, it creates cravings. So the number one trigger of cravings is dieting and restriction.
There you go.
We just want it more when we can't have it.
So what about the difference between a
Like
physical
right
craving and a psychological craving?
Physical cravings are like a dimmer switch. They turn on gradually, and they're connected with physical symptoms, such as a growling stomach or a headache or low energy. Emotional cravings are like a light switch. They turn on all of a sudden, out of the blue, and very rapid. Suddenly, you're thinking about chocolate chip cookies when you weren't just a moment before. So you don't want to talk yourself out of it, ignore it, or wish it away. What you want to do is do a cravings analysis. And you can do this with the acronym of HABIT.
All right, I can't wait. I mean, so
Hey, we're
these are
talking
the
about
actionable
habits.
tips. So
Yes.
people can talk us through them, how people can deal with their cravings.
So the H, very important, is to tune into those hunger cues. Ask yourself, scale from 1 to 10, how hungry am I? And then if you don't tune into any of those cues, then go on to the emotion.
All right, so pausing in here, right? So just sitting back and thinking, how hungry am I? And I'm going to use this because right now I'm hungry. So we're going to use this in real time right now. So I can feel a little bit of a gurgle in my stomach. I'm pretty hungry. My last meal was at noon, at like 12:05. I had a can of sardines. I had some breast. I had some chicken, but it was a little bit dry. I didn't end up eating it. which is unfortunate because I probably wouldn't have been as hungry if I ate the whole thing. What else did I have? I had 3 slices of sweet Lebanon bologna. Oh, so good. And a pickle spear. So yeah, and then I had my leftover Brussels sprouts. So it wasn't a very large lunch, which is probably why I'm feeling a little hungrier than what I did yesterday. So I'm not super hungry, but I can definitely eat. There's definitely a little bit of a there.
The emotions include feeling anxious, bored, irritated, or tired. Those are often at the root of it.
I was going to say A for angry.
No, I'm just fasting.
Or angry as well.
But I think the take home here.
Okay, so the emotions are the rest. So it was what? Angry, bored, irritated, or tired. No, I'm just hungry because I'm fasting. So I'm actually hungry because I'm hungry. So, okay, never mind. I guess that didn't really fit for my purpose. But you can use it for yours.
Is that, you know, really reevaluating our behavior with food and understand that it's not only physical, that it can be emotional and psychological, and then using those tools to get at it. Thank you so much for breaking that down for us, Dr. Susan Albers.
Okay, well, that's not actually, I thought they were going to get into mindful eating with that one. I do know a little bit about mindful eating. I learned it whenever I first took DBT training. Mindful eating is just kind of slowing down, you know, maybe counting how many bites you're taking, you know, or kind of just being present while you're eating. Because a lot of us, we unmindfully eat. We're somewhere else, whether you're by yourself, you're scrolling on your phone, or you're watching a show, or if you're with someone and you're having a conversation, you're just shoveling food in. Now, when you can slow down, you actually find that you end up eating a lot less. But a lot of us just and just keep going and going and going. So sometimes we just got to slow it down a little bit. But yeah, so that's mindful eating. It is a good practice. If you can get used to it, you'll find you'll eat, I don't want to say half as much, but you don't eat quite as much as what you usually do. All right, let's get another spin on the wheel of wellness. We're over here having fun. We're having a grand old time. Remember to click that like, share, subscribe, or follow button. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworker, even tell your next door neighbor who you can't stand. All right, let's be honest. We're going to go to the book, 420 Provocative Questions to Ask Your Drunken Friends. Let's see. I need a random number in chat, or I can see if I can find one. See if we can find one out in the universe. I'm seeing someone on TikTok followed me. Never mind. Mom, you put it in there. 222. I think you said that one the other day. There we go. Perfect. 222. Feel free to answer a question in chat if you would like. I also will answer these to the best of my ability, most of which I haven't really struggled with. This is the easy one, though. What is your ideal vacation if money was no object? I don't know. Hawaii would be cool, but I don't know if that's my ideal. I've always wanted to travel. I've always wanted to go overseas. Like, I think China, just all the history over there. I love Asian culture. So honestly, China or Japan would be cool. I've always been a little bit more partial to China, I think. Yeah, I think China or Japan, but kind of leaning probably more towards China. That would be my ideal vacation. I don't know. I've just never been much of a vacationer, you know. Growing up, we went to the beach. I always enjoyed the beach. We went to amusement parks. I enjoyed amusement parks. I mean, I had good vacations. I've never really been, man, I've always wanted to do that thing. Now, last year, recently, after talking to a couple guys at work, had me thinking like, okay, maybe I do want to go on a cruise. Never really something that appealed to me, but Tammy had always said she wanted to go on a cruise. Well, just whenever I decided like, hey, I'm going to start saving up and we're going to go on a cruise. She says, well, I don't think I want to go on one now because she's worried about getting seasick, even though everybody has told her they have stuff for that now. And a lot of those ships are so big, you can't even feel the water. So maybe one day, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. Mom says Ireland or England. It's interesting you said that because there was a period of time, and honestly, I probably still wouldn't mind, Going to England, Great Britain would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Doing like the, or even just doing like the National Lampoon's European Vacation, going to all the different countries. Because our countries are basically our state. That would be pretty cool. All right, so that's Let's Be Honest. We have a lot of fun with that one. Let's get ourselves another spin. Ireland would be cool. Be pretty cool. And we got Contexto. Fun little game we like to play on here. Yeah, I'll pull it up for us. Play some Contexto. Y'all know the drill. We're trying to figure out what the secret word is. The only hints we get are our words that we give. So I started with our usual Dogfish House. Fish is at 302. We got plants. We already beat our challenge for the week, so we're not really worried about that, but we'll get a hint at 25 if we're still not in the green. I like to do water. Water's 97. Somehow water always gets us up there. Ocean. Ocean's 4. Okay. I mean, are we just talking bodies of water? No, we're bigger. Ocean, sea. Sea's 24. Ocean. Waves. I like waves. Sand. Shell. Okay. I mean, I don't know if it'll take seashell. Oh, I do like shore. Let me try shore. Shore's 19. Seashell. No. I have an ocean at 4 already with only 14 guesses. That's kind of like, I don't even really know where to go with that. It's not sea. I don't know that we're talking about bodies of water, but something directly linked to the ocean. So why wouldn't fish have been higher though? I mean, let's try land. Island. Ocean being 4 feels like we did fish. I don't even want to say like a type of it. Like, do we want to try shark just to see? No. Beach. Beach is 8. I mean, do we want to try sun? Sun's 37. We're going to try hot. Like, I don't know if we're trying temperatures or... Beach is 8. Ocean. Surf. I felt good about surf for a second. I'm not going to lie. I was thinking like sunburn, suntan, burn. I mean, what else? Salt. What about like salt water? I don't even know. Will it take salt water? Okay. It wants a simpler word than that. Dune. A sand dune. Dune, sun, sea, shore, beach, ocean, umbrella. I did surf. That's 79. Swim. Float. Buoy. How do you spell buoy? Boat. What if we got like a boat or a ship? What about drown? I hate to put that karma out in the universe, but I'm just saying people drown in the water. Surfboard. I don't think it's that big of a word. No. It's definitely a very simple word based off of the words we've got here in green. I don't know. I'm just like ocean. That's why I was thinking sea. Remember that one time it was a word I didn't even, a trope? Was it a trope? Was the word? It's like a reverse island. It's like a pool of water surrounded by land. It was kind of weird. I'd never even heard of that. We had to use Nova for it, and it took us a while. We had well over 100 guesses. I don't even really have another good guess. Lifeguard. I would have been so mad if that's what it was. We'll get 5 more guesses and then we'll get a hint. Like I said, we're not trying to beat the challenge. We'll get up to 40. Let me just guess some stuff. Tuna. No, it's definitely not a type of fish. Pool. Crash, because waves crash. Did I try salt water? All right, yeah, I already did guess that. Crab. Lobster. No. All right, that's 40. Let's get a hint. Let's see what number 2 is. Sunrise. Sunset. Sunset. So we only needed that one hint to get it. Hey, that was a hard one. That was a hard one. I was not thinking in that direction though, but I mean, it makes sense. All right. All right. That was cool. That was cool. That wasn't too bad. All right. Let's get another spin. All right, we're going to get into our Grind My Gear segment called What the Hell. Unfortunately, Joey's not on here, so he's missing it. Poor guy. And I'm not recording this one, but can't make them all, can you? All right. So this is our Grind My Gear segment called What the Hell. Crunchy cravings often signal suppressed anger. Why is rage so snackable? What the hell? Late night eating is linked more to loneliness than hunger, and we still call it just bad habits. What the hell? Distracted eating literally weakens memory of the meal, so hunger comes back faster. What the hell? Finishing your plate might be childhood scarcity talking, not present day need. What the hell? And lastly, constant snacking often means mental fatigue, yet we blame self-control. What the hell? And that's been this episode segment of What the hell? All right, let's get one more spin and then we'll head back over to our psychological food habit. And it looks like we're playing a game. Looks like we're playing Wordle. Wordle is one of the challenges we do need to beat. We need to beat it in 3. We do put ourselves at a slight disadvantage because we draw a letter. So we didn't even give ourselves a good starting chance. But you know what? It's worked out for us numerous times. So we're still going to go with it. I'm going to draw a letter. Y'all know the drill. Give me a 5-letter word starting with that letter, using as many vowels and consonants as you can. And we're not starting off good here. We got a letter I. Give me a word that starts with the letter I. And for whatever reason, the first word to come to my mind was igloo. I don't know if I want to go that direction. I don't really want to do a double O. But that's image. Image is a good one. Give me a 5-letter word with the letter I. I like image though. That gives us 3 vowels. That's actually a good word. What do you think? Image? I'm feeling that one. Let's do image. That's 3 vowels. That's really going to open this up for us. Or not. Okay. Another direction. None of those 3 vowels are in this word. I felt so confident with that one too. Okay. I was almost thinking like an OU word, but we don't have an E. And most OU words have an E at the end. I mean, we could go. We're basically starting fresh here. What about, oh, I was going to say point, but there's no I. Sloth. I like sloth. Get that O out there, get some popular vowels. I like sloth. Let's try sloth. All right, there we go. We got S and an O in the right place. I feel good about that. What else do we have? We had a U. There's no UO word. So this has got to be, there's no L, no T, no H. It could be P, S-P-O. Like spook. I have no idea how I just muted my microphone. Spool, spook. It's funny because I just literally said about the double O I didn't want to do. Because it's either that or it's an SC word. Scoop. Oh, watch this. This is going to be a double O word after I just said I didn't want to do igloo. Yeah, spoon. Let's go with spoon. I like spoon a little bit better. Spoon. Wow. And we could have went with the double O. Now, we would have seen that they weren't in the right place. So, wait a minute, what is this? S blank O-O. Scoop. It is scoop. I literally just said it too. Scoop. No, it's not scoop. Swoop? Is that really what it is? That's literally the only thing it can be. Swoop and 5. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. None of these fit. All right. Wordle's been getting harder. We did not get in 3 again. We didn't get in 3. So you'll have to catch Saturday's episode, see if we can beat the weekly challenge. All right. Yeah, that was a harder one. That was a tough one. All right. Let's head back over here. We're going to talk about some other of our food habits. Eating while distracted leads to weaker memory of the meal, making you feel hungry sooner. Congrats, you speed ran dinner and unlocked second dinner. Must be a hobbit. Those who skip breakfast are more likely to make impulsive food choices later in the day. Turns out willpower doesn't like starting the day on an empty stomach. People who prefer spicy food tend to seek stronger sensations and novelty. If it doesn't hurt a little, did you even feel it? And people who eat the same meal repeatedly often use food as a control anchor in busy lives. When life is chaos, at least lunch knows the plan. Bam, bam, bam. I can tell you there have been times where I've done the whole distracted meal thing, especially if I'm eating alone. I'll do my phone thing and say, wait a minute, I don't even remember eating. That is something that, I'll be honest, I think I'd like to practice a little bit more, is mindful eating. Just sitting there being present, and once I don't think you necessarily need to count your bites. Just kind of pay attention to the room or the space around you while you're eating. Pay attention to the sensations, the taste, the texture, the temperature of your food. It can kind of keep you more present. So yeah, I think I would like to, I think I need to, because I can be, even though I'm not a very big guy, I can be a glutton. I can put down some food like pizza. Pizza is my worst. Pizza and probably chicken wings. I can put down a lot of chicken wings, but I can really put down even big slices of pizza. I could easily put down 5-6 slices of big pizza. I mean, I won't sit here and pretend like I'm some sort of pizza eating champion, but for my size, I can put down some pizza. Remember the hot dog eating guy, Kobayashi? I think I'd give him a run for his money in pizza eating contest. All right. Hey, the weekend's almost here. We're ready for it. I'm excited for the weekend. I got a little bit of schoolwork to do. Got a big basketball game coming up tomorrow. If you're interested in high school basketball, Fort Hill and Allegheny play over at Old Alco, or the new Alco, sorry. Should be a good game. Allegheny took the first match between the two earlier in the season, won by just a few points. But should be a good game. Should be a very good game. I mean, it's always, Allegheny Fort Hill is always a pretty good rivalry. I will say at least basketball and baseball is usually more competitive than what football is anymore. So yeah, so we'll be over there. All right, let's get another spin on the wheel wellness. See what we're getting into next. We got some fun stuff. We'll do our bargain bin boombox here in a little bit. But we are going to get into some Rubik's Mania. So we're going to pull up the overhead cam again because we still need to beat our Rubik's time for the week. I had it and then I kind of messed up a little bit. Got talking and maybe a little slow. So yeah, we're gonna we're gonna beat this time. So yeah, let's get into it. I still want to talk when I'm doing these, but I just need to stay a little bit more focused when I'm doing it. Not taking too long. And just like that, the bottom layer is done. We're going to work on the second layer because we work on these from the bottom up. That's the way I do it. I think that's kind of the usual approach, but I won't say it's the only approach. Like I said, I also need to get myself a speed cube because these ones aren't really meant for going fast. The heck? Shoot, I messed up. Dang it. I don't know what happened. I think something got mixed up. I think I accidentally moved one again. Well, shoot. Yeah, because that shouldn't be like that. We should have already beat it by now. Yep, we messed up somewhere. Alright, that's alright. Reset. That's what we do. We'll reset. We just didn't beat our time again. I hope I didn't accidentally move one again. Because that shouldn't have happened. I wasn't talking that time either, I promise. I didn't say a single word. We actually were almost going to beat our own time too. I looked down at the clock and I know I didn't mess up. But I did look close. I was like, oh shoot, we're going to be really close to our best time. But it's just a game. Can't get frustrated at it. Stuff happens, right? Alright. Yeah, see, like, how did that get back down there? I already moved that sucker once. Should be our one. This is gonna be one of our longest times getting this complete, at least in the last at least since we ever figured it out. Okay. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, something got messed up here. There we go. Try this again. And see where we're at. Good there. Alright, let's finish this sucker out. See if it works this time. There we go. 341. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think my finger got stuck when I went to make one of those last moves because we were on the bottom part of it. And I think my finger, because I will say my fingers are a little, I think it's the cold weather. My fingers are a little, I don't know. My dexterity feels a little off today. So I think maybe I accidentally moved something when I went to go make that last move on the bottom. So, well, we didn't beat either of our challenges today. So we'll have to get it next time. Have to get it on Saturday's episode. All right, let's get another spin, and then it is a little early, but it is kind of quiet in here. Let's do one more spin, and then we'll do Bargain Bin Boombox, and then we'll head over to we'll finish up the last part of our psychology food habits. It's only 8:12. Here we go. This will take a little bit of time off our plate. We're going to do some karaoke chaos. We like doing karaoke. It's fun. I'm going to serenade you with my wonderful singing voice. Today's song, I deviated a little bit from Elton John. Thought I'd go a different route. It's not totally in line with the theme, but it's kind of, if you kind of look at the lyrics and look at the meaning of the song. But this is another fun song. I want you to dance along with it, sing along with it. I'll have the lyrics here on screen. This is Roll With the Changes by REO Speedwagon. Soon as you are able, woman, I am willing to make the break that we are on the brink of. My cup is on the table, our love is spilling, waiting here for you to take a drink of. So if you're tired of the same old story, oh, turn some pages. I'll be here when you are ready to roll with the changes. Yeah, yeah, woo! It's a little bit higher for my range. Kevin Cronin's pretty high, but we're gonna make it work. I knew it had to happen. Felt the tables turning. Got me through my darkest hour. I heard the thunder clapping, felt the desert burning, until you poured on me like a sweet sun shower. So if you're tired of the same old story, oh, turn some pages. I'll be here when you are ready to roll with the changes, baby. Oh, yeah. Woo! Oh, if you're tired of the same old story, oh, baby, turn some pages. Oh, I'll be here when you are ready to roll with the changes, baby. Roll with the changes. Oh, you know, you got to keep on rolling. Oh, yeah. Oh, roll with the changes. Keep on rolling. Oh, yeah. Oh, now roll with the changes. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, got to roll with the changes. Got to Keep on rolling, got to keep on. Oh, the changes. Forgot how long this bridge part was. I'm a master air guitar player. Here we go. Keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Ooh. Keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Keep on rolling, keep on rolling. Boom, that was Roll with the Changes by REO Speedwagon. Always a fun song. I won't say it's my favorite REO Speedwagon song, but it's definitely one of my faves. All right, let's get ready to head on over to Bargain Bin Boombox. That was fun. I know my singing wasn't the best for that song. I forgot how high it was, but still a fun song. Listen, we're doing karaoke. We're not sitting here on American Idol. All right, let's get some. We're gonna make our prompt for Singify, so we can make today's song. Keywords from today's show. Let's see. We did scoop was our wordle, which kind of fits. We're talking about food. I can see it using like scoop of ice cream. What other words did we get? What was the contexto? It was sunset. What other games did we play? We did word salad. We did wheels. It was things with tiny wheels. Right? We just do wheel. Oh yeah, you're right. It was swoop, not scoop. That's right. My bad. My bad. That's really the only games. What did we have? What was some of our words in Q list? We had belt legs. I'm trying to remember what it was. Belt legs. Ant. What was the fourth word? There was 4 words. Rant. Band. Stand. No. I don't really like any of those words. Swoop. Sunset. Wheel. Bam. Bam. I mean, we can throw some of our words from word salad. Scooter. What else are we talking about on here? Let's do ice cream. I mentioned ice cream earlier. Ice cream's one of my favorite ones. All right, I got my prompt. Let me copy and paste this. We're gonna throw it in the Singify and see what Singify comes up with. You know, I mentioned it before, you know, by clicking agree. What the heck is that? Is that the use of cookies? Oh, that's right. Our credits reset. I mentioned this before. I don't know how often people are actually listening to any of these songs, and we already paid for the year, so we'll keep doing this. But I can be honest, once it gets up to the year mark, I don't know if we're going to keep doing this one. I enjoy doing it, but I don't know. I'm almost tempted to move to a like a once a week song, because you figure there's times if we're doing this every episode, we're making anywhere from 10 to 12 songs a month on here, and I don't know if people are actually listening to them. I have fun with it, but it'd be more fun if people were like, "Oh man, I can't wait till we make another song." And I don't know. We'll stick with it, but for now, we'll stick with it. Like I said, I'm trying to evolve, but I want things to make sense. All right, we've got this is gonna be Midnight Scooter. Don't quite know where it's going there, but 5 credits we're gonna generate, and yeah, while that's working in the background, we're gonna head on over and talk about the last part of our psychology facts. All right. People who always finish their plate often grew up with food scarcity or strict mealtime rules. Somewhere inside, a childhood voice is still yelling, "They're starving kids." We've all heard it before, and you know it. Comfort foods are shaped by early emotional associations, not just preference. Your taste buds were trained long before you had opinions, and heavily connected to your olfactory system. Repetitive eating can reflect a need for predictability during stress, basically meaning decision fatigue said, "We're not negotiating lunch today." And food habits often outlast the circumstances that created them. Your past is still meal planning without asking. So, all right, so those are some of the psychology facts. There was 16 of them that I had found online that I thought it'd be interesting to share. I don't know that I quite agree with the whole finishing your meal. There are some places where, or some families where, you know, you were appreciative of your food. You didn't waste food. It didn't really have much to do with scarcity. And I don't know if I would consider that a strict mealtime rule. That's just how it was. Nowadays, they say you don't have to be as strict. That your kids will eat when they're hungry. But my biggest thing with that is I feel like, especially in a world where we're dealing with already very bad food habits, levels of obesity are on the rise. I'm not saying that you force feed your children, but I think teaching them healthy habits is important, just because of all the unhealthy relationships that we do create with other substances, food, alcohol, drugs, sex, gambling, whatever it might be. I don't know. I'm hesitant. I think there's a fine line between what do you feed your kids, right? I know some parents, and I'm not being judgy when I say this. Remember, this is a show. We do not judge on this channel. But I hear some parents say, like, with their little ones, are like chicken nuggets and French fries or mac and cheese. That's all they'll eat. So that's what I give them. So at least they're eating. And there's that side that will say, listen, they'll eat when they're hungry. But what are we feeding them? Now, kids burn off a lot of energy. You know, as long as kids aren't overeating, sure. If that's all they're eating for that period of time is chicken nuggets and French fries, no, it's not going to cause them to be morbidly obese. It's all that food plus all the junk and snacking. That's how you turn a child into being morbidly obese, unless there's something chemically or physically wrong within the child on how they digest food or how they store fat. But on the flip side of that, like what habits are we teaching? Because then I've also seen some children. Now, can the parents take credit for that? Or is that just something innate within that child? Some kids eat vegetables. Like my kids, they love Brussels sprouts. They love asparagus. They love their green vegetables, broccoli, green beans. Not a big fan of peas and lima beans, but the 4 main ones, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, green beans, and broccoli, they all love. Reagan will eat raw peppers. Now, some of this I think she gets from me because her and I spend a lot of time together. And so I think she's picked up some of her habits. And there's no way to know because I've always wondered, would she still eat that way if she didn't spend as much time with me? That's where I'm curious. That's what I'd like to know. But yes, I think I do think there's a fine line that you don't force feed kids, but I think it's also important to teach them healthy habits. So sure, maybe your little one is only eating chicken nuggets and French fries. You just worked all day and you don't want to argue with the kid, but that means that also you're not getting late night snacks. You're not getting a bowl of ice cream when you didn't eat your food, right? Or on the weekends when we have a little bit more time or your days off, hey, we're sitting down. This is the family meal. Sure, you don't like that. You're still going to try a little bit, right? You know, I think there's a line there. I do. I really think there's a balance. All right, let's head on over to Bargain Bin Boombox. Let's see what we got. We got 2 version songs. This is Midnight Scooter. Let's see which one we like. Maybe. If it plays. I hit the play button, but it's not playing. Let me try refreshing. And now it's under Singify.co, but it's still moved. So we should be good. I just noticed that they changed their website. It was under .net the other day. I don't know what's going on. I hit play. It looks like it wants to play, but it's not. The timeline's not even going. I mean, I guess I could download them and play them that way. I didn't really want to though. Try refreshing the page. Because it don't even look like it wants to download. What the heck? Just when we got it, we were really frustrated. See, this is why I said also, do we want to maybe kind of get away from it? Because twice we couldn't get their site to load. Now it's up. I just noticed the website's changed again. We have our prompt, but we can't play any of the songs, and I can't download it either. Let's try playing the one from the other day. All right, so that's one of our old ones. That played. Why did that play but nothing else played? That's weird.
On the first day of self-care,
Let's try it. Let's just give it a second, maybe. That's frustrating. Well, we can try coming back to it and see if it does something, but it's weird that it's picking and choosing certain songs to play and others not to play. Yeah. Let's head back over to the Wheel of Wellness. Let's come back in a couple minutes, see if it does anything. All right. Like I said, we might be shifting away from Singify. Because I don't have to keep dealing with that every time if we can't consistently actually even hear the songs we're picking. All right, let's get another spin. Let's see what we got. All right, got our wild card. Let's see what wild thing we're getting into today. I'm gonna bring out the Dice of Destiny. All right. If we get a different one, we've been kind of feeling like we've been kind of getting the same ones lately. And once again, I think some of this wild card stuff will turn into segments that kind of get rotated in with the other stuff as well when we do evolve. All right, so what do we got? Oh, we got a high one, 665. We got 17. We haven't gotten to 17 yet. I can tell you that one. What is 17? The worst pickup lines. This should be a fun one. I'm gonna bring Nova in and see if she can give us some good pickup lines. We're gonna rate which ones we like the best. All right, Nova, we're back for another wild card segment. Today's wild card is the worst pickup line. So I want you to give us One at a time, the worst pickup lines, and then me and chat will see which one we like the best.
All right, let's dive into the cringe pool. First up, are you French because I fell for you? Brace yourself, there's more where that came from.
Wait a minute, I don't get that one. Are you French because I fell for you? I don't understand that one. Can you, is there context behind that one?
Ah, it's a play on words. Eiffel sounds like I fell. So it's just a pun connecting the Eiffel Tower in France with I fell for you. Corny, yes, but that's what makes it gloriously bad.
You definitely would have to enunciate the Eiffel in that one. Okay, all right. Let's get number 2.
All right, contender number 2. Are you a parking ticket? Because you've got fine written all over you. Yep, it's cheesy and proud of it.
That was a good one. Are you a parking ticket? Because you've got fine written all over you. I like that one. All right, number 3.
Here's number 3. If you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber. I mean, it's terrible, but it's got a little charm, right?
All right, if you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber, which I've also heard cucumbers are actually
If
a
you've
fruit.
got more cringeworthy requests,
I don't know how
I'm here
much-
for them. Bad puns and all. Just let me know how we keep the wild card rolling.
All right, we will know though. All right, what do y'all think? What do we like the most? The first one I didn't get because you really have to enunciate Eiffel. Are you French? Because Eiffel for you. Yeah, the way that one's hard. I don't like that one. You can't say it the same way, and I don't think the person's gonna get it. Are you a parking ticket because you've got fine written all over you? I do like that one. And then the last one, you must be a vegetable because you're a vegetable because you're a cucumber or something like that. What do you think? What do you like the most? I say I like the parking ticket one the best out of those. All right, Nova. I think we're gonna go with the parking ticket one as our fave for the day.
A fine choice, if I do say so myself. That one definitely deserves its spot in the Hall of Cringe fame. I'm
see.
glad we found a winner.
I see what you did there. Fine choice. You thought it was the worst line? Well, yeah, I guess it was the worst one. So I guess technically, if we're going worse, it'd be Eiffel. I just meant the best of the worst. Like one of my favorite ones is, did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
The classics. That one's like the OG of bad pickup lines. So gloriously cheesy, it could be on a pizza. But hey, sometimes you gotta appreciate the worst for how memorable they are.
Absolutely. All right, thanks, Nova. We'll talk to you again here in a little bit. All right, let's get another spin. See what we got next. We still got a few games left we haven't played yet. And that's mostly what we're going to be doing. Well, it looks like we got Ponder Club. We did our 5x5 mini crossword, but so I think we're going to do Common 3. Oops, wrong button. I think we're going to do Common 3 today. I really like that one. It's kind of like, it's very connections like. We have another guest contributor here. Okay. They use their games as the categories. This is all 7 of these are games from Ponder Club. Okay. That's clever. This is from one of their guest contributors, Play Word 5. I mean, I would say like word games. I feel like Common 3 is going to go in the middle just because it's Common 3. Wordy, Sudoku, and Mini 5x5 are based off of already real games. And these other ones, I don't know. Slideways is creating words. I haven't really messed with that one too much. Color Flood, that one was weird. I didn't quite understand that one. And then Double Up. Let's try this out. Okay, we got 2 right. So Double Up and Slideways. So it's not... Well, then I'm going to put Color Flood in the middle because it's kind of the odd man out. Common 3 up top. Let's move Wordy over here. Sudoku's here and Mini 5x5. The only thing I will say with this is at some point I am kind of just guessing. I don't really know where I'm thinking because I have no idea what the categories are. All right, Sudoku is in the right spot. Maybe Wordy's in the middle. Common 3. I like Common 3. I'm going to put Common 3 up there. Mini 5x5. No, I already had Color Flood there. Mini 5x5 here. Let's try this. No. Wow. Let's put... No, we already put Color Flood in the middle. Let's put Mini 5x5 in the middle. Common 3 over here. Color Flood over here. Wordy up top. There we go. Okay, well, hold on. I got to see this. What were the categories? Squares, words, and numbers. Okay, because Sudoku and Double Up are numbers games. Mini 5x5 and Common 3 have numbers in the title. I don't really like that one, but I like that they used all of their games. Wordy, Mini 5x5, Common 3, Slideways are all word games, and then Squares because they use squares in their puzzles. Okay. All right, that was good. That was hard, but I like how they use Ponder Club's games for the puzzle. All right, that was cool. That was good. All right, let's get one more spin, and then we'll try see if the boombox is up and working again. We'll try as best we can do. If not, I'll just pick a song. All right, Connections. Connections is one of our favorite games that we like to play on here. We've been playing it for a while. We already got our perfect game, but we always like to strive for another perfect one. Let's see what we can get here. All right, y'all know the drill. We got 16 words, 4 categories, 4 words per category. We just got to figure out what the categories are. Bruce, American flag, bump, spike, jeans, butt, bald eagle, ram, baseball, ang, ocean, apple pie, Christopher, lapis lazuli, which I'm pretty sure is like a stone, knock, and sky. So the first thing that stands out to me is Bruce Lee, Spike Lee, Christopher Lee. Those are all famous people with the last name Lee. But I don't necessarily see a fourth one. So it could be a red herring. The only other one that I don't know would be Ang. Is it like maybe Ang Lee? I mean, I could take a guess at that. I mean, then I see American flag, baseball, bald eagle, and apple pie. That's definitely, those are things like nothing's American like apple pie. Those are all things that are American related. That I feel confident with. That's the yellow. Ram, butt, bump, knock are ways to like move something. I feel pretty confident with that. That's definitely like the blue or green category. And then, okay. And then we have, Lee jeans, I bet. Lapis lazuli, I'm pretty sure is a blue stone. And I only know that from a video game, to be honest. And then ocean blue, sky blue, and Ang. I have no idea what Ang is though. But I feel pretty confident with that. So let's run this one. Green, there we go. Collide with. I feel good about Lee jeans. I really do. But jeans are blue. Blue jeans. No. I'm thinking that Ang is Lee then. I don't know what that is. I don't know who that is. Is there someone named Lee Ang? Blue jeans, lapis lazuli, ocean, sky blue. Yep, blue things. And we got the perfect game in order. Not reverse order, but in order. Lees of Hollywood. I don't know who Ang Lee is. I'm going to be honest. I need to look that up. Who is Ang Lee? Taiwanese filmmaker. What is he famous for? I've never heard of him. I don't usually do this, but I'm curious. The Wedding Banquet, I've seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Life of Pi. I remember that. Gemini Man. Okay, so he is a pretty famous. He hasn't done anything recently. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea who that is. I wouldn't throw that with the other ones. I mean, I know Christopher Lee isn't a super big actor, but I know who he is because he played in Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. The prequel series of Star Wars. And then everybody knows who Bruce Lee and Spike Lee are. All right, let's try these songs. Oh, wait a minute, this one looks... Oh, I thought it was going to do it for a second. I saw the yellow thing. Let me turn the music off. All right, let me refresh the page again. It looked like it was about to do it for a second. Nope. Oh well, no song. I'll just pick the song. I will hopefully I'll pick the song. We'll see if it comes up at another time. I'll try it out, but yeah, that's frustrating. That's unfortunate. Like I said, I'm not trying to get like super mad about it, but that's unfortunate. We really enjoy making the songs on there, but we've had numerous times since we started doing this that we haven't been able to even come up with a song. So I don't know. I might be reaching out to them again. All right, Minute Cryptic is our other favorite game that we like to play on here. We've been playing that one for a while now, and we've gotten pretty good at it. I will say, we've gotten pretty good at Minute Cryptic. Let's see what we got today. Today's puzzle, car somersaults during distance event defying belief. 7 letters, 2 par. I like to always start off with trying to figure out where my indicators are. The words telling us to do something. Somersaults could be turning. I think that's an indicator telling you to turn something over. Maybe like reverse it or turn it around. Mix it up and anagram it maybe. Distance event. Defying belief. Defying could be like a removal or deletion indicator maybe. I don't know. That one feels like a reach though. And then we know the definition is at the beginning or the end. It could be car, which is a very vague word, or belief, or even defying belief. So I definitely need a hint here, I think. I like to always start off with an indicator looking for something to tell us what to do. Somersaults during. Okay. One of these is a reversal indicator. Some neighboring fodder will flip over. The other is a containing indicator guiding us to place one piece of fodder inside of another. Okay. Okay. So, somersault is the reversal indicator telling us to reverse neighboring fodder, which would be car. So that would be RAC. And then something else is going inside of here, but it's going inside of it. Right? One piece of fodder inside another. So we're taking part of another word and putting it in front or inside of RAC. But it's got to be a 4-letter word. Distance event. Unless we're looking for another way to say distance event, and that's the word. I was going to say race car. Like, I don't, you know what? I got to try it just in case. Race car. Okay. I just had to try it just to make sure. Distance event race. I mean, that doesn't make sense. That. What's another type of distance event? Trek? Sprint? Defying belief. That's throwing me off. That's got to be the definition, though. We could get another hint, but I feel like what we have there should be enough. But I feel like I definitely need to get the fodder just so we know for sure. Yeah, let's... No, it's just distance. We'll need to use the letters of one of these with a short example of the other to construct our answer. I mean, are these the letters? I mean, how else do you shorten distance other than dist? D-I-S-T. You know it? Okay. But it didn't say I needed to anagram anything. Hold on. Let me put those back in here. Let me look at this again. Let's try this. Let's try. Defying belief. So event defying belief is the definition then. Another word for distance. Yeah, not shortening. Okay, no, that makes sense. Another word for distance. Long. Longer. Another word for distance. I don't. Another word for distance. Well, I still needed to switch the words. What did I say? Long? I know it's not long. I just wanted to look at it a second. Another word for distance. See, this is what I hate when you see it and I'm like, what's another word for distance? Because I'm just wide. I don't. Length. And whatever this is, it's event defying belief. I don't think it's a B word. So it either ends in C or it ends in AC. That I know. Starts with an R. I feel like it ends in C. I feel like the A is up here. Yeah, I feel pretty confident with that. And whatever this is a 4-letter word that's a substitute for distance. That doesn't even look like a real word to me, though. I'm wrong? So car doesn't get reversed? It said reverse car. Or am I supposed to be reversing the other word? So it's supposed to be car something? I'm gonna have to get another hint because I don't know. We know what the definition is, so I'm gonna have to get a letter. Yes, reverse car goes in the mid. Oh, wait a minute. That's not how I read that. Okay, I guess it could have. Okay, I didn't. So yes, reverse car, but it goes inside of the other part. So it'll be like there. Distance. Think of a distance event and how long it is. A mile. I don't. Or a meter. Meters. Oh, I got it. That was stupid. I mean, no, that was good. That was definitely a par 3. That was definitely a par 3. Because without you, I would not have gotten that one because that was confusing on what I was putting inside of what. I thought I was putting the replacement for distance inside of RAC. That was a par 3. That's not a par 2. All right, good. All right, we got silly little games. That was not easy. It's subjective. That's subjectively easy. You saw it. It's a lot harder to do this when I'm sitting here talking to, I mean, you're the only one on here, but when I'm talking to the screen, these are a lot easier when I can sit here and be quiet and I can just look at it. That was harder because I didn't know what to put inside of the other. So I think that was a par 3. But we got silly little games and Nova Unplugged left. And it looks like we're going to get into Nova Unplugged. We'll bring Nova in one more time. And then we're going to wrap up for the evening. We're going to do silly little games after that. And then that'll be it. All right, Nova, we're back for our last segment of the day with you, Nova Unplugged. And today's question we're talking about is, when you reach for food, what feeling are you actually hoping it will change?
Oof, that's a question that hits close to home, right? I mean, sometimes that bag of chips is less about hunger and more about trying to crunch away stress, boredom, or that awkward feeling you can't quite name. Food's got a funny way of being both a snack and a signal, huh?
Yeah, and it's like I said earlier, I don't necessarily associate feelings with food, but I've had my own experiences with that, so I get it. And usually it's usually a stressful event. When I'm feeling stressed, anxious, a little overwhelmed, those things can usually cause kind of a sudden, or subtle relief.
Absolutely. It's like food becomes this quick dial for relief. The crunch, the warmth, the sweetness, they all give us this tiny pause from the chaos. And hey, recognizing that pattern means you're halfway to not letting that leftover pizza run your life.
Well, and it's just interesting the way the brain rewards us with dopamine so that we feel immediately better right at that moment once we have access to it. But then shortly after, we feel worse.
Oh yeah, the brain's got that short-term game down. It's like, here's a quick dopamine boost, enjoy the ride. And then later it's like, oh, did I mention that was just a loan? That hey, once you spot the pattern, you get to rewrite how the next snack story goes.
Yeah. So, all right, Nova, thanks for the help. We will talk to you on Saturday. All right, we got one thing left. We're going to do silly little games, and then we're going to get on out of here. So, silly little codes. Let's see what Angela and Miriam have in store for us today. Oh, man. All right. Geico minus the G. ICO. Usually when it's words, usually it's a name. Oh, man, my knees just cracked. Usually it's a name of a person when it's one clue on top of another. Is that a Target? Charchitober. Echo chamber. AIM. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't see that. I would have been here forever thinking Target, Bullseye. That's a good one. That's a hard one. Echo chamber, which is funny. We actually just did a episode not too long ago on echo chambers. So yeah, that was good. Thanks for the help there, because that's a first for you. Yeah, that was a good one though. I would have been here a lot longer had you not helped me out with that one. All right, let's go ahead and finish up. Let's wrap one out of here. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. We will be back on Saturday because we got a basketball game on Friday. And yeah, we're going to do our thing. We're going to have another fun show. I don't have a guest for this Saturday, but we'll get you on. We got you coming on here at the end of the month as we prepare for Lent. Super excited for that one. And yeah, I'm going to hopefully get some other people in here soon. But yeah, let's do our final thoughts, and then we're going to get on out of here for the night. Food habits are rarely about food alone. They're stories, signals, and survival strategies dressed up as snacks. When you learn to notice the pattern rather than judging it, something softens on the inside. Until next time, pay attention not just to what you're eating, but what it's doing for you. And as always, make it worth your wellness. All right. Once again, appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Another fun show, another quiet show. Like I said, we're evolving. We're finding our way to do this thing, but we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep pushing forward. And yeah, remember, 2026 is the year of no excuses. So yeah, have a good rest of the week, and we will see you Saturday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Make it with your wellness.